My name is Dawn Marie, and this is my channel, DM's Crafty Vortex. This is my channel mostly about cross stitch, and then whatever other crafty adventures I happen to get up to throughout the week. Today's is going to be all about the cross stitch. How is everybody today? Today is December 23rd. Today's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, yeah, December 23rd. And I am here for my twice a month cross stitch update. How is everybody today? If you're celebrating the holidays, hopefully you're all ready to go by now. And happy holiday to everyone, whatever holiday you are celebrating. I hope it's happy. I hope you get to enjoy it. I know not everybody gets to enjoy the holiday seasons, but just know that we do think about all of you, and I hope you all the best. There hasn't been much in life updates for me. I work in retail, so it's just been pretty much work, work, work. I did get to take a day off, was it last week? It's all blurring together with me, and got to spend a day with my friend Anna, and we got to cross stitch pretty much most of the day away, and it was just a lovely day. I was able to get a lot of cross stitching done and just enjoy somebody else's company other than stitching at home. My husband and I don't usually have the same days off, so if my day's off, he's working, his day's off, I'm working, so it was fun to be able to spend my day off doing something fun and creative. Also, my daughter Diane is home from grad school for the holidays. I'm very relieved that she's back in the States. She goes to school out of the States. She has a college on what I would consider a tropical island, so she may not be so excited to be back to this cold weather where she was wearing a bathing suit and out on a boat the day before she came home. But she is here safe and sound, so I can be relieved about that. I pretty much think that's about everything. Let's get into the cross stitching. But before I show you anything, let's do the drawing for the winner on my last regular floss tube, not my last week where I did a Whip Go update, but my last regular floss tube. I said that I was going to give away a HAED chart. I was going to go onto the winner's wish list site and pick something and give it to them. So I have done the drawing for that. It was really exciting. And here is our winner. And I am going to butcher your name. I'm going to go with Verpy R. And I'm so sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Really exciting. You have won from me before. I think it was a little over a year ago. You were a winner. So I think I have your information. But if you could email me with my email address below and give me the email address you use for your HAED site. I just want to make sure, if people change email addresses and stuff, I want to make sure it's the most current information I have for you. Now, if it is the same email that you emailed me last year, I have already perused, and I think I know which one I'm going to pick. Going back and forth between a couple, but I think I know which one I'm going to send your way. But if you could just email me, confirm that is still your email site, and that is the one you use on your HAED, I will go ahead and gift you that chart. It was really exciting to do that because I didn't have to exclude anyone, and I don't have to worry about mailing anything to anyone. So that is the winner. I don't have a lot to show you, but I do have more than I thought. I think we say that all the time. I don't have much to show you, and then we show a bunch of charts. But I did get a chart in the mail. It was a surprise box from Forbidden Fiber Co. It was their Squid Game mystery box. Now, I personally have never watched Squid Game. I am one of those holdouts. But my husband, my son, my stepsons, I think even my daughter, Kayla, have all watched the Squid Game. So I thought it would be fun just to get that mystery chart in the mail. And it came. So, spoiler alert, I am going to show it. I'm going to show the chart. Everybody who's gotten it should at least know what it looks like by now, because it has been a couple of weeks. But here's the project bag it came in. I think now that it's done, I might offer this project bag up to my stepson and see if he wants it. And here is the chart. The game is about to begin. And it's, I guess, one of the iconic games in the movie. So it's a bag of marbles. And it was done on the colorway was Sugar Pie, and it was an 14 count Agar Zygot. So this is the fabric was used on. And then it was all the color. Now, if you look at the picture, it looked like just flat colors, but it wasn't. It was a lot of her variegated flosses. So here are all the colors. And this one, Cat's Eye. I think she said she made this exclusively for the marbles. Look how pretty they are. So here are all the colors that were used in it. And this ended up being a start and a finish for me. So here it is. And if you look at the marbles, I started out on the big marble with the variegation. I just went back and forth, back and forth. And then I wanted them to look a little bit more marble-like, so I started doing, and I did stitch 1X at a time to get the variation. And I started going around the marble to get a little bit more of a marble effect going. So you can see the difference in how it looks going back and forth versus going around it. And this was a really fun stitch. I did the bag, I just outlined it. And then when I was going places, it was just easy fill-in work and so much fun to do. So I think I'm gonna frame this and I'm gonna use this as a guinea pig on seeing if I can get something framed by myself without sending something away to the framer. So I do hope to actually fully finish this. Then it came with, I think it's a set of stickers. Not sure really what to do with the stickers, but maybe I'll give them to my son or something. And then it had a needle minder on it, but I think I've already repurposed the needle minder onto another project. So that was really fun. I will definitely do another box. As a matter of fact, I've already ordered another box through Forbidden Fiber Co. I was really excited because I do like to knit a little bit as well. And I was really excited that she came out with a new mystery box. I think it's called Tea and Coffee or something like that. But she has knitting boxes, she has cross stitch boxes, but she actually has a hybrid box that's both cross stitch and knitting, so you don't have to choose which one you want. Really excited about that, so I picked the hybrid. Now I'm not doing these in the order that I worked on them because, to be perfectly honest, I jump around all week. I'll touch a project, I'll put it aside, I'll touch another project, I'll go back to that project. I kind of know what I want to work on during the week, but I just don't know when. Sometimes I'll work on a project that takes a lot of concentration and I'll work on that for a few hours and then I just need a break and I go to something a little bit easier. So when I say next I worked on it, don't literally mean that's what I worked on next. But I did put some time into the Haunted Mansion sale that was supposed to be done by December, Halloween, which obviously I didn't make it, but I'm still plugging away at it. And this was a stitch along on the Facebook group 21 Halloween cross stitch projects in 2021. And I did mine on 18 count Aida that I just simply dyed myself. It's designed by the Tiny Modernist. And I have all of this done. I'm not doing this bottom section. It was a scrap of fabric I had from another project, so there's really not as much room as I'd like down there, and I just don't think it adds a ton to the project, especially where I'm not a fan of orange, so doing all those pumpkins really doesn't add anything to it for me. I am working up here right now, so I have all of this done. I'm working up here. I do need to finish this block. I just got burnt out on this block, and I'll do that last, and I've got some back stitching to do right here. I have really enjoyed working on this, though. I do think I'm going to get this one professionally framed. My husband likes it as well, so he's asked to make sure that I actually frame it. And I have my cousin, who doesn't cross stitch at all. Anytime I show this, I get a comment from her that this is my favorite cross stitch that I do for her favorite cross stitch. And this is where I am at. Isn't it so cute? So the last time you saw it, I think I was down here. So I've done the ghost and I've just got the tree kind of creeping up. So I'm getting there. I'm close to a finish. But I think this is one of my favorite projects that I've done. And again, it's just a leftover remnant from something I've dyed. But I think it went perfect with it. If you notice though, when I dyed it, if you look at the moon, you can see that moon's not quite as round as it should be. I did just buy Ada from Michael's, and I don't think the squares are actually square. I think they're, I don't know if I can get close enough for you to see, but I think the squares are more rectangles. So if I hadn't done a great big moon, you probably wouldn't notice as much, but because it's something that's supposed to be a great big circle, that's not a circle, you can see that they're not quite as square, but I guess that's the difference in quality when you get something at a big box store. Next up, I was super excited to get this started again. This is my magic study from Rose Khan that I had originally started, but I really wasn't liking the coverage of the 25 count easy grid, so I reordered 28 count. I just shot Pam over at Stitch New England in Massachusetts email saying I needed some 28 count easy grid. She got it ordered for me, and I actually had a chance to go pick it up, so I was very excited about that. It's about a 2.5 hour drive for me, but I stopped at a halfway point. My friend Anna and I hopped into her car and we drove together, which made the trip a lot easier and a little bit more enjoyable, especially because we ended the day with eating at the Cheesecake Factory, which really just made it absolutely worth the trip as well. And my husband was really excited because I brought him home some cheesecake. But here we are on Magic Study. I'm about, I think, 2,000, a little over 2,000 stitches in. Really excited. You can actually start to see a little bit of the, if you look at the pattern, and it's got like the bulbs of lights coming down. So that's right there. And the best part is I am farther along on this piece than I was when I gave up on the 25. And I think, do I have it here? Because I started something on it, but I just flipped the fabric over instead of cutting it off. And let's see. Yes. So this is where it was on the 25 count when I gave up on it. Compared to now. Let's see if I can do this. So excited that this piece is now bigger than this piece. And while I don't think coverage will ever be perfect, I think the coverage is much better on the 28 count. And I think that once I wash it in the end, that will plump up a little bit. And I mean, especially like there, you can't even notice. It's just when you're working on it. I did download, I have the app that Jessie Marie Does Stuff has that you can put in your stitches, and it kind of keeps track of where you're at. And it said that if I keep stitching at the rate I'm stitching at now, this should be done by December 28th, 2034. So I might try to pick up the pace a little bit more on this and try to shoot for something a little bit quicker than 13, 14 years. But I knew when I got into it, it was going to be a long-term project because I did go max color and super size. So this is going to be 999 by, I think, 734, something like that. So this is a biggie. This is going to probably take up an entire wall. So it's a long-term commitment, but I'm really excited. Now this is one of the ones though that I do kind of will work on during the day, but when you hit the end of the day, you do need to pick up something easier to work on. It may not be easy to tell, but I mean, I guess you can tell by all the threads. It does have some confetti in it. Over here is pretty easy. It's about 2 or 3 colors, although randomly there will be 1 stitch of color. And I think it's because I went with Max Color, and I am putting in that 1 color. So I am putting in that 1 stitch and ending the thread, even though I don't think you'd be able to tell if I just went with one of the other colors. But for now, I'm doing it the right way. Who knows 10 years from now what I might be doing. I might be going, good enough. But so this is where we are at. And for those of those people with really good eyes, yes, I am missing 1 stitch right there. I know that stitch is missing, but it is marked on my chart as missing, so I know I have to put a stitch in there. So that is my magic study. I'm really excited. I am very glad that I decided to restart it on the 28 count. I think I need to get a new bag made for it. I'm putting it in this bag right now, but I just don't think the vinyl front bags are cut out for full coverage. I think I need more of the bag styles. So I'll find some fabric and get a new bag made for that. And I cannot keep the floss with it at 234 colors. That has a whole bag all on its own for all the colors. And another thing, I've been giving some love. Since I pulled it out, I have not wanted to put it back. And that is my Bellatrix from Bella Filipina. So I worked on this as a birthday start, doing a stitch along. Julie from Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World does have a hashtag on Instagram. I think it's just hashtag Bellatrix birthday Sal. So I worked on it a little bit last year, and then I put it away and almost forgot about it until I had a comment below on one of my videos asking if I had finished it. And I had definitely not finished it. I just hadn't pulled it out at all. So this is one of the ones that I like to pull out when I've just had enough thinking, because right now I'm in the dress section. So just lots and lots of 1 color stitching, which has been really fun to work on. And this is where I am at on this. Not a ton of progress since you've seen it last, but it is still progress. And I have been, let me see if I can get our, it's a long project, so hard to, there we go. So I think I've just done a couple of more of these swirls since the last time I showed it. Now the dress goes down a lot farther, so there's some beading here and then some more dress here. And then this is all beading up in here. And I will probably bead as I go because I am stitching this one in hand, just with the long swirls. I haven't wanted to put like a hoop or a Q-snap and then be limited. I did start it with a Q-snap. I think you can kind of tell right where my Q-snap ended. But this is more enjoyable with the bigger sections, just to be able to stitch in hand and be able to stitch as far up or as far down as I want. But this dress is coming out gorgeous. It's going to be weird though when I get this bottom section done and start getting into the smaller detailed stuff. So I'm really enjoying stitching on this. And again, it's just Aida that I picked up at Michael's and dyed myself. And then the last thing I touched this week is the project I'm doing for Pam for her shop, Stitch New England. And I left my chart over there, but I'll just insert a picture right here of what it's supposed to look like. Now, one of the things I'm going to change on this is, here's where we're at. Up here, instead of putting all the words in that's on the chart, is my friend Anna reconfigured it to have the word stitch there. So I'll put stitch, so it will be stitch New England, and I got my thread going. And I just did a little bit more over here, so not a ton to show for this. I can only work on this for a little bit at a time because it's a really just thick, crunchy Aida, and I am stitching this one in hand, so it's a little bit rough on the hands, and it's weird to go to a 14 count when you're working on 28 counts and such. So this is where I am at. Just need to finish this D, get that little ribbon piece done, then I'll probably try and get stitch in. I did a bunch of sewing this week that I really can't show. There's some gift stitching. I'll show that hopefully in my next update. But while I was down there sewing, I did want to get a bag made. I haven't touched this, so there's no new progress on this. But this is my Pokemon from the Lord Libidin site, and Rachel Ray started a Gotta Catch 'Em All Sal, and she's working on this as well. It is a free download on his site, but I hadn't been touching it because I didn't want to move it around too much because I didn't have a bag for it yet. So I did, while I was down there sewing, I grabbed some fabric and I made myself a project bag to put that in. So now I don't have to worry about trying to take it out and move it around and worried about it getting dirty. And this is just on 25 count easy grid. So this is just probably about a quarter of the fabric from my original start on Magic Study. That was such a big piece of fabric that I was able to cut this out and still have plenty more for another project. So this one, I can actually hold it in my hands and have plenty of room. So I am doing the extended version. That means there's going to be a lot of background stitching to it because I'm going to have everything, the wings and heads, and nothing's going to get cut off on this one. And that is actually all that I have to show. Verpi, again, I hope I'm not butchering your name. Shoot me an email so that I know that I have the right email address for you on the HAED site, and I will get that off to you. I hope, again, everybody has a wonderful holiday season. And until next time, happy crafting.